When a man is drowning, even a snake becomes a rope. Listen. There lived a young man named Aku. Aku was fast. Aku was clever. Aku could talk a bird out of its wings. But Aku was poor. His mother, Ma Amina, was fading like a lamp with no oil. Her lungs rattled in her chest like dry pebbles in a gourd. The medicine man, a one-eyed elder who smelled of fermented herbs, told Aku, "The breath of your mother is tied to the golden root of the far mist. Bring me 2 bags of cowries, or prepare the funeral shroud." Aku looked at his mother. He looked at his empty palms. His heart became a heavy stone. A man with a heavy heart, my children, is a man who can walk into a lion's den and call it a bedroom. Aku went to the great market of Oru Obodo. He did not go to sell yams. He did not go to buy oil. He went to find the shadow walkers. Under the Iroko tree. The shadow walkers were men who wore silk but had hats of soot. Their leader was a man named Okeke the Vulture. Okeke sat under an Iroko tree playing with a string of silver bells. "Small hawk," Okeke whispered, "do you want to fly?" "I want to save my mother," Aku said. Okeke laughed softly, not the laugh of a happy man, the laugh of someone who has watched many funerals. "Do you know why I am called the vulture, Aku?" Aku said nothing. Okeke stood and brushed dust from his silk wrapper. "The lion kills with strength, the snake kills with venom, but the vulture," he tapped his chest, "the vulture waits." He began to circle Aku slowly. "These elders you pity, they hoard gold like ants hoard crumbs. They call it wisdom, they call it inheritance. But tell me, when they die, do they carry it into the grave?" He leaned closer. "No, they leave it, and the strong take it." Aku swallowed. "You think I am evil?" Okeke continued. "No, I am nature. I do not steal. I harvest. Fear is a crop, and old age waters it daily." He lifted the silver bells and let them jingle once. "The world does not reward the kind, Aku. It rewards the bold. So decide now, will you be the goat waiting for slaughter or the knife?" Aku swallowed. "Tell me what to do," Aku said. Beside Okeke lay a thick leather-bound book. Its edges were darkened as if many guilty fingers had touched it. Aku's eyes lingered. Okeke snapped it shut. "Curiosity," he said smoothly, "is expensive." "What is it?" Aku asked. "Memory," Okeke replied, "and memory is power." He tucked the book into a leather bag and locked it. Aku said nothing, but he remembered. The first sting. The custom in Oru Obodo was sacred. You must never lie to a gray-haired head. To do so was to invite the wrath of the ancestors. But Aku had forgotten the ancestors. He only remembered the golden root. He found his first prey at the edge of the world stream. It was an old man named Pandu. Pandu was blind in one eye and shook like a leaf in a storm. He carried a small iron-bound chest. Aku approached him, making his voice soft like a flute at twilight. "Grandfather," Aku said, "I am a messenger from the oracle. The oracle says your chest is cursed. It carries a spirit that will eat your soul by the next moon." Pandu gasped. "The oracle? But I have kept this gold for my grandchildren's bride price." "The spirits do not care for bride prices, grandfather," Aku lied. "Give me the chest. I will bury it in the forbidden forest where the curse cannot find you." The old man trembled. He cried. He begged. But the fear Aku planted was deeper than the love for his gold. Pandu handed over the iron-bound chest. Aku ran. He did not look back. He took the gold to Okeke the Vulture. Okeke took half. Aku took the rest. That night, Okeke drank palm wine and grew careless. He said, "You see, tapping the leather book, every elder has a weakness. I write them here. Who hides gold? Who fears curses? Who quarrels with his sons?" He scribbled beside Pandu's name. "Why write it down?" Aku asked. "So I never forget who owes me fear." Aku watched and learned. But listen, when Aku reached the medicine man with the gold, the medicine man shook his head. "The price has risen, Aku. The mist has grown thicker. I need more." Tufiakwa, greed is a hole that can never be filled. The resistance of the spirit. Aku went back to the market. He was bolder now. He wore a fine wrapper. He ate succulent goat meat, but his mother, Ma Amina, grew worse. She looked at Aku's new clothes and her eyes filled with water. "My son," she coughed, "where does this wealth come from? The sweat of an honest man smells like earth. Your clothes smell like the tears of others." "Hush, Mama, eat your soup." But Aku's heart was no longer a stone. It was becoming a thorn. One afternoon, in the center of the village, a wealthy merchant named Chief Diribe was walking with his young servant. The servant tripped. Quah! The soup splashed onto the chief's expensive embroidered robes. The chief screamed. He slapped the boy. He demanded payment that would take the boy 10 years to earn. Aku, standing nearby, saw an old man, a stranger named Mazi, step forward. Mazi, dressed in rags, but his back was straight as a spear. "Chief," Mazi said, "it is only soup. Why break a boy's spirit for a piece of cloth?" "Who are you, old rat?" the chief barked. "I am the son of the soil. I own the shadows you walk on." Aku watched as Mazi smiled, a slow, terrifying smile. "Power is a shadow," Mazi said. "When the sun goes down, where does the shadow go?" The chief tried to strike Mazi, but Aku, prompted by a spark of his old self, stepped between them. "Let him be, chief," Aku said. "I will pay for your robes." The chief took Aku's gold and spat on the ground. Mazi looked at Aku. His eyes were like two deep wells. "You have a kind hand, young man, but your shadow is very dark. Why is that?" Aku felt a chill. He turned away. He had work to do. Okeke the Vulture had given him a new target, an old man who lived at the edge of the village, said to be hiding a fortune in ancient pearls. The name of the man was Mazi. Aku arrived at Mazi's hut that night. He wore a mask made of dry grass. He carried a knife that gleamed like a silver fish. Aku stood outside the hut. The moon hung low like an eye watching him. He could hear Mazi inside, coughing softly. Not the cough of wealth, not the cough of a man hiding pearls, the cough of age. Aku tightened his grip on the knife. From inside, he heard something else. Mazi was speaking. "Ancestors," Mazi whispered, "if I have wronged anyone, forgive me before the night swallows me." Aku's heart slammed against his ribs. For one long moment, he lowered the knife. He imagined walking away. He imagined sitting beside his mother instead. He imagined telling Okeke, no. But then Ma Amina's rattling breath echoed in his memory. His jaw hardened. "A man who hesitates buries his mother," he muttered, and he pushed the door open. "Old man," Aku hissed, entering the hut, "give me the pearls, give me the wealth you hide, or you will not see the sun rise over the hills." Mazi sat in the corner, near a small fire. He did not move, he did not shake. "I have no pearls, Aku," Mazi said. Aku froze. "How do you know my name?" "I know the voice of the one who defended me today, and I know the voice of the one who robbed my brother Pandu at the stream." Aku's hand shook. "My mother is dying. I need the gold for the golden root. It is a choice between your wealth and her life." Mazi stood up. He walked toward Aku, ignoring the knife. There is no golden root, Aku. The medicine man is in league with Okeke. They use your love to turn you into a beast. They feed on the gold you steal from the elders who have already given everything to this land. You lie, Aku screamed. Search my hut, Mazi said. If you find pearls, take them. If you find only dust, then ask yourself, what have you become? Aku searched. He tore the thatch. He dug the earth. He found nothing. Only an old wooden staff and a bowl of cold porridge. Suddenly, a cry echoed through the village. Ma Amina! Ma Amina has stopped breathing! The knife fell from Aku's hand. For a second, he did not move. It was as if the world had swallowed sound. Then it returned all at once. He ran, not like a thief, not like a predator. He ran like a child. His legs stumbled over stones he had known since boyhood. He almost fell at the stream where he once played. He remembered his mother there, washing his small body with cold water while laughing at how he kicked and screamed. Aku, stand still, she used to scold. Now he was running, and she was still. When he reached the hut, the door was open, too open. Inside, the oil lamp had burned low. The flame trembled like it too was afraid. Ma Amina lay on the mat. Her chest did not rise. Her mouth was slightly open, as if she had been about to call his name. Aku knelt slowly. Ma, he said, not loudly, not dramatically, just confused. He touched her shoulder. Cold, not the cold of night air, the cold that does not return warmth. His hands began to shake. Ma, I brought the gold. You hear me? I brought it. I did what I had to do. His voice cracked. You said a man must protect his mother. I protected you. I fought for you. His words collapsed. He placed his head on her chest. Silence. No rattle, no breath, no struggle. Only the quiet of something finished. For the first time since he began stealing, Aku cried. Not loud, not proud. He cried the way boys cry when no one is meant to see them, shoulders trembling, breath breaking in uneven pieces. I was coming back, he whispered. Just one more night, just one more. His tears fell on the wrapper he had bought with stolen gold. The cloth did not comfort him. It accused him. All the lies, all the fear he planted, all the elders he shamed, and for what? He lifted his head slowly. Behind him he heard laughter, not the laughter of joy, the laughter of men who trade in desperation. Aku did not wipe his tears. He stood, and something inside him, something soft, died beside his mother. The boy who justified evil with love, the boy who believed gold could fight death, he was gone. Aku came outside the hut. The medicine man was there. Okeke the Vulture was there. They were laughing. She is gone, Aku, Okeke said, wiping his mouth. But look on the bright side. You don't have to pay for the golden root anymore. We shall take the rest of your gold as a funeral tax. Aku looked at his mother's still face. Then he looked at the two men. The choice was there, heavy and irreversible. He could run, or he could end the cycle. Aku just left. He walked to the center of the village and began to ring the great bell, the bell used only for war or for the death of a king. The villagers gathered, the elders came, even Mazi appeared, standing in the shadows. People of Akala, Aku shouted, I am a thief, I am a liar, I have shamed the grey hairs of our fathers. The crowd gasped. Okeke stepped forward, his eyes narrowed. The boy is mad with grief, ignore him. I am not mad, Aku cried. He pulled out the ledger he had stolen from Okeke's hut days ago, a record of every elder they had scammed, every family they had ruined. I worked for the Vulture, we stole from Pandu, we stole from the widows, and the medicine man poisoned my mother to keep me stealing. You speak of poison? The medicine man spat, his one good eye blazing. Fools, do you know how many come to me each week begging for miracles? Do you know how many mothers cry at my door? He pointed at the villagers. You bring me your sickness, your curses, your barrenness, your laziness, and when herbs fail, you blame the spirits. He turned toward Aku. Yes, I raised the price. Yes, I took the gold because hope is not free. The crowd murmured. Your mother was dying long before you came to me, but would you have accepted that? No, you needed something to fight, so I gave you a battle. I gave you a golden root. His voice dropped. People do not pay for truth, they pay for hope. Is this true? The chief asked, his voice trembling. Mazi stepped forward. It is true. I saw the shadow over him. I saw the light try to break through. The villagers turned on Okeke and the medicine man. It was not a battle, it was a reckoning. The two men were beaten and casted out into the forbidden forest, where it is said the trees themselves grew thorns to tear their skin. But Aku knelt before the elders. I have the gold, Aku said, holding out the heavy bags. It cannot bring back my mother. It cannot bring back the peace I broke. Take it, give it back to the ones I hurt. And what of you, Aku? The chief asked. The law says a thief must lose his hands. Aku looked at his hands, the hands that had held his mother and the hands that had held the knife. He laid them on the sacrificial stone. The law is the law, Aku said. The village was silent. Even the wind stopped blowing. The executioner raised the heavy iron blade. Mazi walked to the stone. He placed his wooden staff over Aku's wrists. The boy has already lost his soul and found it again. To take his hands now would be to kill the man he has become. Let him serve the ones he robbed. Let him be the eyes for the blind and the legs for the lame until his hair is as white as mine. The blade did not fall. Aku stayed in the village. He never wore silk again. He never tasted succulent goat meat. Every morning, he went to the house of Pandu and cleaned his compound. Every evening, he sat with the lonely elders and listened to their stories, carrying their water and chopping their wood. He became a man of silence. One day, many years later, Aku was sitting by the stream where he had first robbed Pandu. A young boy approached him. The boy looked hungry. The boy looked desperate. Grandfather, he whispered, I need to be rich. Can you tell me where the gold is hidden? Aku looked at the boy. He looked at his own weathered hands, scarred by years of hard labor for others. He reached into his bag and pulled out a small dried seed. There is no gold, my child, Aku said softly. Then what is in your hand? The boy asked. Aku smiled, a slow, peaceful smile. A seed, he said. If you plant it in the shade of an old tree, it will grow. If you steal the tree's water, both will die in the sun. The boy did not understand, but he sat down and Aku began to tell him a story. Now, go to sleep and remember, the path you choose at dusk is the one you will walk alone at dawn. It is what it is.